Sue from Snake River Stamping. Thank you for coming today. I'm really glad that you're here. We're going to make a fun card today with that torn edge look from the two-tone cardstock that I really hope that you like. Welcome into my craft room. I had a busy weekend, and all of a sudden last night, like at 9:30, I realized I was not ready for this live broadcast, and so I immediately got to work, and I hope I have everything ready. If I don't, I hope you'll grant me some grace as I pull it together, but I do think that I have most things together right now, except for my hair that seems to have decided to go really wonky this morning. All right, well, whatever. Anyway, I have a lot of announcements because Stampin' Up! Is doing a lot of different things, and you've probably heard of some of them. So I'll turn my camera down, and we will get to it. Here we go. The biggest announcement they have right now is that their best starter kit offer ever is going to be available beginning October 1st, which is Wednesday, I believe, and goes through the 31st of October. And you can join Stampin' Up! You do not have to be a demonstrator. You do not have to make videos. You don't even have to do classes or any of the things that you might see on YouTube or Facebook. You can just be a savvy shopper. So the two offers that they are giving you this month are, usually it's $99 instead of $35, which is a great deal. $99 or $35 instead of $99, and you get $125 worth of product, all of which you will pick yourself and put in your starter kit. So if you are maybe planning on spending $35 in October, between October 1st and the 31st, you might consider doing this and just be a savvy shopper. All you do is collect your discount each month. If you want to keep going with Stampin' Up!, they will have incentives, and they're very generous with their incentives to keep buying from them, of course. And it's not that much. If you're pretty serious about your crafting and you like to buy things, it's really a good way. And that's how I started, was I wanted to get a discount on the things that I was purchasing anyway. So usually it's $99 and you get $125 worth of product. But so right now in October, well, beginning October 1st, don't sign up until October 1st or anytime between October 1st and 31st. You have plenty of time to think about it and consider it. It's only $35. So that's $90 of free product. Totally free for you. The other offer is paying the $99, but now they're going to give you $189 in product. Remember, all of which you will pick yourself. And if you need help with the signing up process or anything, you can call me. We can go over it on the phone and can talk you through it, whatever you need. So think about that. If you're spending that much anyway, why not get a 20% discount? And of course, I would love it if you would choose to sign up under me, because that does benefit me too. World Card Making Day is coming up on October 4th, and Stampin' Up! Is doing a live event. It will be recorded, and you can watch it anytime you want. You don't have to be available on the October 4th date, but you do have to register for it. And I have a link in my description. Just click on that, and it tells you where to go. I think it's under the What's Happening Now tab on your screen. It's under a different tab on my screen, but I think I wrote it down in the description, so you can look at it there. but it's a free event. You can just watch it and learn some technique from some professional card makers, some really good card makers. You need to register by October 3rd, so I think that's Friday, by 2 p.m. Mountain Time. They will be presenting it live at 2 o'clock on October 4th Mountain Time. If you're in Pacific time zone, that's 1 o'clock. Mountain Time, it's 2. Central, it's 3. And Eastern, that's 4 p.m. But like I said, as long as you register, they will send you the link, and you can look at it and watch it anytime you want. Okay, you just have to register, and that is free. Now, if you would like the craft along kit, if you would like to do what they're doing, you can order the craft along kit, and I have also included a link to the craft along kit in my description. And I have one. Mine came just the other day, and if we have time at the end, I will open this up and we will take a look at what's inside. It depends on how smoothly this goes for me today. So anyway, it includes a stamp set, 10 cards and envelopes, a card organizer, labels, twine, glitter, adhesive embellishments, and a mini ink pad. Okay, so the craft along kit, this is what it looks like. We'll get the October kit, and it looks like this. Thought I put do not disturb on there, but anyway, sorry. This is the paper pumpkin kit that is coming in October. Looks like this, so it looks like it's Christmas themed. Then the November one, as long as you sign up by November 10th, again, it looks Christmassy to me. Okay, see tags and gems, all sorts of things. And then in December, it looks like this is what they're advertising. And of course, I can't even see exactly what's in the kit. All I can see is what they give me on these little promotion pages that they show us. And oh, one other advantage to signing up for Stampin' Up, you will also, even though you're not a demonstrator, you're just a hobby, savvy shopper type of thing, you will be eligible to order everything that's coming new a month early, like we do. And they send you all that information. So you get access to things a month before everybody else does once you sign up. Okay, my specials that I still have for September, and in October I'm changing things up a little bit. But remember, a minimum $20, you start earning Stampin' Rewards, and you earn Stampin' Rewards from that point forward. If you order $40 worth of product from me before tax, shipping, and all that stuff, you get card kits from the Gathering Together and 10% Stampin' Up rewards, of course. And these are some of my cards that I'm sending out in my card kits. You'll get 4 of them. What will you get? Oh, it's a surprise. Don't forget to look, though. Some people have been emailing me where their leaves and things are, and they're in a clear envelope. I put all the leaves. I just cut a bunch of leaves, and you can put them wherever you want. You can do whatever you want with this kit, but I do include the tags and the inside pieces. So look in that clear envelope in your big envelope when you get that. Okay. When you do a $50 order, you get the card kits and you get a PDF to make this card. Now, I just email you the PDF. I think I threw it someplace else. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, I will email that PDF to you, and it's to make this card using Gathering Together, and it's a really cute card. I've already sent this card out to several of my friends, and they loved it. So that's one of the offers. For the $75 order, card kits, PDF, and you get some gems. I look in my pile and I send you some gems.
my $100 order, you get the card kits, the PDF, the gems, and silicone craft mats. I'm out of silicone craft mats, so I will give you the choice of another pack of gems or an entire package of dimensionals. Not just one sheet, but an entire package of dimensionals instead of the craft sheet. They're about the same monetary value. All qualifying orders.
Today, we are focusing on pumpkins, two-tone cardstock, and some everyday arches. So these are the bundles that I was pulling some stuff from, and then I was looking at my paper pumpkin, and now this stamp comes because I wanted pumpkins to do this card, and so this stamp comes in the Tractor and Company. So there's a wayward dimensional here. There's always a wayward dimensional all over my house. So that's where I got this stamp, was from Tractor and Company. And then I got, let me see if I can put something behind this. I got this stamp in my paper pumpkin for September, and I loved it. I'll show you this stamped and you'll see it better. And I loved it, and it was the right size, because you have to look at the scale of what you want to do for this particular card. And then I didn't use the stamps, but I did use the dies from Everyday Arches. So I just linked the dies, which are available, and I used number 2 and number 4, which are both missing from here. And I count from the outside in, so that's number 1, and that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 dies. So I did number 2 and number 4, counting from the outside in. Okay, and I think I've already pulled those out. So that's where the 2 bundles that I'm pulling stuff from today. So, and I have all this stuff written down, and I have it sticking out right here to remind me to pull out and show you the measurements. Okay, this is the first one I made. And I was using the pumpkins, stamping the pumpkins from the Tractor and Company bundle, which I liked. Okay, and then I got the other bundle. Then I went wild with pumpkins in my pumpkin patch, and I had too many pumpkins on this one, so I did not like that very much. This one I liked a little bit better, with fewer pumpkins, and I'm going to talk about making a bow like this and putting some sequins on or something to add to it. The paper that I drew from, I was doing 2 packs of paper that I was using as backgrounds, or maybe 3. I was doing Floral Charm, and because this Timid Tiger was a good background, it's on the back of this paper from Floral Charm, and this is Timid Tiger, and it's a floral pattern, but it's very subtle, and it has a Timid Tiger in there, and it looked pretty good. I liked it as a background on this card, and we're gonna focus on the Timid Tiger thing today. And another one I used, like on this one, I pulled in some paper from Timeless Plaid, and I so I have a lot of that. Timeless plaid, and there's a lot of different plaids in here. I mean, this came out last spring with the bunnies, the Easter spring bunnies. So there's lots of different colored plaids in here, and that was a pretty good choice too. So we're going to use this one today. And we're going to not put as many pumpkins on as this very crowded pumpkin patch. And I mixed my pumpkins. I did some from the Tractor Company and some from my September paper pumpkin kit. But I ended up liking the paper pumpkin ones a little bit better. And I'll show you how to do those. Okay, so what you need is this is the paper pumpkin little stamp set that comes with it, and I just pulled my pumpkins off of there, and they also have some little acorns, and they have little leaves you can put on there. They have some sentiments on there that you could put in your card, and you might have some other sentiments, but all of this is kind of fall related, so it was really quite useful. So what we're going to start with is a card base, and I started with 4 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So you see it makes a short card base, and that's where we get the arches stick up, and we got to be careful on how far they stick up, because it still has to be within the confines of a regular card size, which can't be taller than 5.5 inches. The inside can be two different things. You can cut some white, 4 by 3 3/4, and that will fit in here. And you can stamp some things on there. I think I did stamp some things in one of them. I think it was in this one, yeah. I stamped some leaves, and I stamped "Your friendship means the world to me." I got that from Gathering Moments, I believe. And I stamped some leaves from that. Or you can cut another little arch and put that in there so it's right behind the arches on the front. And you can put a little arch in there. I put "Thankful for You," and I stamped a couple little acorns in there. So I mean, you can, and I'll show you how to do that too. You know, you can do whatever you want. Now the Designer Series paper from Floral Charm is the same exact size as the inside. It's 3 3/4 by 4. I just wrote it backwards here. So that's the front that we're going to put on there. Then you need a piece of pecan pie. This is your background arch, 4 1/4 by 5 inches. And remember, this is arch number 2, counting from the outside in. It's the second largest arch, and you just cut that from pecan pie, and that is going to be placed on the front. And it's really handy to have some grid paper, or I have a glass mat under here I use to measure how far, because this line right here, this is 5 inches. So if I put my card down here, I do not want my arch to go any more than about, I don't want to go quite to 5.5. I want to leave some room. So I'll measure that. I'll put some dimensionals under here, and I'll measure that and make sure it doesn't go more than the 5.5, so that it'll fit into a envelope, a medium-sized envelope. Okay. Then we need a piece of lighter colored paper. You can do either crumb cake or basic beige. The basic beige is a little darker. It's what I used on this one. I used basic beige. Or this is basic beige, excuse me. I used crumb cake, or this is basic beige. And it's important that you do not cut your arch out until you do the strip thing and glue those on. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm probably going to demonstrate with basic beige because I've already got some stuff drawn on here. Then you need a piece of white to stamp, color, and cut your pumpkins. Okay, so that's about 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I just kept those sizes consistent of a quarter sheet of cardstock so that it would be easy to measure. Okay, so those are the main components of this card, plus the strips. Now the strips need to be out of two-tone cardstock. Okay, so these are quarter sheets, 4 by 3 1/4, 4 by 3 1/4, your card base, and of course it depends on what you pick for your DSP, what color your card base is. And I'm gonna focus around Timid Tiger today. So then I cut 1 1/4 by 4-inch strips out of the two-tone cardstock because we're going to tear them like this to make the little hills for our pumpkin patch. So I have, and remember it's two tones, so there's a light side and a dark side. So like here's my early espresso. So I've got my dark side and my light side. Okay, for early espresso. I did some Cajun craze, and I have a dark side and a light side. Now I'm not going to use all of these. I'm going to make about, I think, four rows made it about right. Okay. Another one you might pick from light and dark is pecan pie. That's another nice one. Okay. And then you have light and dark with crumb cake. That's another nice one. So these are all 1 1/4 inches wide and 4 inches long. All right. And they're all the same, and we're going to be tearing those. Okay, so I already used arch number 2 to die cut, and this was a quarter sheet, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This was a quarter sheet, and I just ran that through my die cutter to make my background arch. Alrighty. Now, you're not going to cut that second arch until we do some glue. We are going to focus. I'm going to move stuff, and I'll put the measurements up. God willing, I will remember to put the measurements up. You need to take your basic white, and I stamped pumpkins for us already, and I stamped them in different colors, and I found that they turned out the best when I stamped an early espresso, the dark brown, and colored them with alcohol markers, which I'm going to do today for you. And I made an example of some of the colors of pumpkins that you might use. These two are light peach pie. These are dark Timid Tiger, and these are dark pumpkin pie. Those are real similar. This is light Timid Tiger. This is dark peach pie, and that's light Cajun craze. So I'm going to focus on probably some of those colors, and I made my stems all old olive, I think. Yeah, dark old olive. I made all my stems dark old olive. I mean, you can make them, pecan pie or brown, whatever you want. I just found it easier for coloring just to go through and do all the stems real quick like that. Now, another thing I was thinking, and I might try this today, I already colored this, and this is in pumpkin pie, and this is from our set. Amber Autumn. Yeah, and it's this one right here, and I stamped, again, I think I stamped this one in Pecan Pie. Anyway, and I colored it, so I might cut out some of these pumpkins, and anyway, I might cut some of that out, and we'll see. I'm not sure about this yet. And that's just extra pumpkins. So, looking at my samples, I grabbed these bajillions of markers, which are linked below. Below me, YouTube. Above me, Facebook. So I just quickly, with dark old olive, I just went through and I colored all my stems first. And not to fear, I'm not going to color all of these and cut them out in front of you. I've got some already done. But you can just see that the stems go pretty quick. Okay. And then I started grouping my colors like light peach pie and dark peach pie and light pumpkin pie, dark pumpkin pie, light timid tiger, dark timid tiger, light Cajun craze, dark Cajun craze. Then I used light pecan pie. I did not use dark pecan pie, it was too dark. And I used dark crumb cake. Those two went together the best for my browns. So that's kind of how I grouped my colors. And so then I went through and I just, you can do the brush tip. It doesn't take long to color these. I do leave a little white space, or you can use the bullet tip. So this is my peach pie. Nope, excuse me, this is my timid tiger. These are all different oranges, is what they are, except for the browns. And I just color them, and I leave a little bit of white somewhere, so they look a little bit like they're, you know, three-dimensional. Now this one is peach pie. This is light peach pie. So this would be a lighter pumpkin. And I'm using the bullet tip on this one. And darker peach pie, dark peach pie. So that the orangey is a little darker. And you can see it, I'm not coloring like super careful. Now I really do like Cajun craze. I really like Cajun craze pumpkins. They turned out really good. And so I colored some of those. This one's the light Cajun craze. I'll stick those back. And this is the dark Cajun craze. Now you can also mix these colors, like you can have peach pie and a Cajun craze. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Now if you're stamping with the tractors, those stamp with ink and they're completely colored, okay? And then the light pecan pie, some brown pumpkins, kind of different, cute. And then the dark crumb cake. These two went together pretty good. Or you can mix them with any of these other colors, you know. And so these, there's no dye to these like there is for the Tractor and Company for these particular pumpkins. So these, you have to, I need a piece of white, These you have to pick a color. I'm gonna grab Timid Tiger. And they stamp the whole pumpkins. Now you can cut these pumpkins apart. So they stamp like that. That's in Timid Tiger. It's pretty orange. More orange than you think, but it does dry a little lighter than that. Okay, so you can do that. Again, these are my sample colors that I was using, and then this one I used. So I'm just going to set these to the side for now. And so I colored and cut out a bunch of pumpkins for us to use. Oh, I did this in the wrong order, of course. I was going to do that. Okay. Backing this train up, back to my strips. You need to tear your strips down. Holding the strip in front of you, you need to tear down to get this white core edge to make your little strips. But the first thing you need to do to make this work is you take your arch number 4 and you put it on your lighter color, whether you're using crumb cake. I'm using basic beige, and just lightly trace around it with a pencil so you know the size of the arch and where you're going to cut, because you're not going to cut until after you put these arches on. Okay, this is why I should have done this first. So I'm just going to take, and I'm going to just, not very evenly or anything, because it can look like little mountains and stuff. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it on here. And I'm just going to vary which, like I want about 4 rows. Works right. I tried making 5 and I thought, it looks like a little much to me. And these little curly pieces that come off, those are garbage. But you do want to put different colors down. Now I can use pecan pie, or excuse me, early espresso again, but I'll want to use the light side if I use that. So I'm going to use some Cajun Craze. I'm going to use the dark side, the more intense side. And I'm just doing a dry fit right now to see, because I want about 4 rows. And this is the crumb cake. Okay, so what I want is this bottom row, I want it to fit right here, and I want this one to go just a little bit under that, and this one to be a little bit under that, and this one to be a little bit under that. So that's why I'm doing a dry fit first, to see about where I should, because I'm going to start with the top one, and I want to see about where I should start with this, because I want to leave some stuff at the top, and I'm going to put some gems up there. Maybe there'll be some pumpkins, who knows what will be up there. But those fit pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to start about right there. Is where I'm going to start with my, and here is a key about whether you're gluing or taping. You know what, I'm going to tape because I don't want to wait for glue to dry. You're only going to glue on the inside, on the edges, on the sides, and the bottom. Whether you're using, and I used glue on my other ones because because I'm basically a glue girl. But I'm going to tape because I want it to be dry faster for what I need today. So I'm just going to run some tape down the sides, across the bottom, and then I do want to measure this to get it somewhat even across here. Just going to put a line there on how far I want to go up. Turn. With the Stampin' Seal Plus, you got to remember at the end to kind of give it a twist so it breaks the threads of the seal. Okay, so I've just got adhesive down the sides and on the bottom, on the inside of where I drew my arch. I don't know if you can kind of see that because it's kind of reflective. So now I take the stuff that my strips that I've already torn in a wonderfully magical, artistically beautiful fashion, and I'm going to hit that top line, and then I'm going to go my Cajun craze. I'm going to leave some room in between. And then this one is the pecan pie. I'm going to leave some room in between. And then I want to hit the bottom line, and that is with my crumb cake. Okay, so they are all glued down on the edges, but they are not glued in the center. See, because that's where I'm going to be slipping my pumpkins in. So there's no glue in the center. Now I want to cut after I've done all this gluing. Okay, I put my arch number 4. I'm going to put a little bit of the sticky tape. I'm all of a sudden really hot. Oh, me. I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. Anyway, okay. So I've got my cut and emboss machine over here on the side so it doesn't shake the table and make everybody seasick. So I have plate number 1, plate number 2, plate number 3. Then I have my die cutting, my paper, and my arch number 4, and then I have another plate number 3. Okay, and I'm just going to run that through my die cutter and cut those arches because I want the paper, the strips to have the same pattern, and plus the die cutting helps kind of squish it in, besides the glue that we put on there. So it looks like it cut all the way through because I've got glue and I've got, you know, a couple layers. So now I'm just going to carefully just pulling some up. But see, that's not glued down over there. Carefully tear this removable tape that's not quite as removable as I wanted it to be. I'm going to have to get a take your pick tool to get all of that off. Should have used some tape that was not quite as new, because it is reusable, and I just stick mine to the side and I reuse it until this one's torn, so I might be throwing this one away. but I do want to be careful taking it off of my paper. Now the paper on the outside doesn't matter as much as what I want on the inside. Okay. All right. Thank goodness for Take Your Pick tools, right? So now I'm going to pop this out. So this is what I'm left with those other pieces, you know. One of them fell out. Oh no, it just got bent. Okay. And these are my my little hills that I have. And as I cut it with arch number 4, it has some stitching around the edge, so that kind of pressed into it. Plus we had the adhesive going around these 3 edges, and we were careful on where we started. You know, I measured where this top hill was going to be, and we'll put some decoration up there, and we'll go down there. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And that's what I'm left with, which is garbage. I can't really think of anything I could maybe use that for. And so I have more strips left over, which is fine. I just cut some strips because I wasn't sure. You know, and I'll make some more of these cards. And I have all my little pumpkins here. And I'm going to cut this one out. And remember, when you're cutting, I'm sure you guys have heard this before, move your paper, not your scissors. Just turn your paper, and you get a lot better ease of cutting. Cut that off. And I'm not sure I'm going to use this big pumpkin, but that's what I did with my other pumpkins. After I color first, and then I cut. And if you want to leave white around it, like you get when you die cut, you know, leave white around it. That's fine. So you know, that's kind of cute. I don't know. I might have that pumpkin down there. See, it just slips in because we only glued on the edges, so it just slips in. So I've got all these other pumpkins, different colors, and I just start doing dry fits to see where I want these pumpkins and what colors I want where. And what I like. And I have to be careful that I don't put too many pumpkins in, because remember the overly done pumpkin card? Yeah, too many pumpkins. Let me put this one down here. I think I kind of like this one that's different. You know, it adds a little something. I put this one down here. And this one over a little bit. Move that one over there. I don't know. Like I said, I have so much problem sticking too many pumpkins in. I think that's it. I'm going to change this one out because I like Cajun Craze a lot. Okay, now to keep those pumpkins in, I just take my glue and I put a little at the bottom on the back. And once I've done my dry fit and I kind of know where everything's going to go, I slip it in and I press that glue down. And my pumpkins are going to stay there. Now if you want to put sentiment on the outside, you can. If you want to put some pumpkins down here, you know, this is a good place for a sentiment. You can add one there. Let's see, I'm going to put that maybe in the middle. But they just slip in so easily, you know. They look really good. You just got this little pumpkin patch. Don't be like Sue and put too many pumpkins in. But I'm going to save these because I'm going to make more of these cards, and now I'm cold. I tell you. Anyway, such is the life of an old woman, right? And if you want to make a card like I made to kind of remind yourself and label what the colors are, so you remember what they look like, you remember how you want to color them, that's really useful to make yourself a card like that. So I've got a couple things I could do here. I'm definitely going to use my pecan pie arch that I cut, and I'm going to pop this up. Well, no, I'm gonna pop the other one up on here. So I'm gonna glue this one down. Yeah, I'm gonna glue this one down. I'm gonna put some bling on here. So this is all gonna be glued down. So I'm gonna go all the way around this. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. I know people use T-squares and get everything like super even. Not me. It's a handmade card. It's imperfect. So I pulled a couple different, I pulled these gold flower accents, and I pulled the, because I'm using Timid Tiger, I pulled the 20, 25, 20, 27 in color flat pearls. I'm probably going to use these Timid Tiger ones, but gold looks good on here too. So on here, I need this 3 3/4 by 4 inch panel on my Timid Tiger, and then that's going to go on top of there. This all goes together, looks really nice. The Timeless Plaid looks really nice too. Plaid, I love plaid, so that looks really nice. And I'm just going to center this on the front. Now, I want this to go on, but remember, I don't want it to go more than 5.5 inches tall, so I place this down here, and my 5.5 inch mark is right there. Okay, so going to take a piece of tape, because I want to measure, I don't want my arches to go too low, but I don't want them to go too high. And I want to know where to put my dimensionals. So I'm going to pull out some dimensionals here. And okay. Maybe I should measure this one instead. I think I'll do that. I'm going to measure it this way. I'm just going to put a line back here that I can't go past that line. It's really light, but I can see it. I'm going to be conservative and put these lower. And I'm just going to put the 4 corners. I might put one in the middle. I mean, I have pumpkins, but I don't have any dimensionals on the other side. Okay. So I know about how far on the front I want to put this. So I've got my dimensionals on, and I'm going to put this down at the bottom. I'm going to look at that top. I'm going to look at where my tape is at. And I am not further than 5.5 inches, so I can put it there, and that will fit in the envelope. That's another good thing for that repositionable tape. Now, on the inside, I can choose to put my basic white 4 by 3 1/4. That goes there, or I can choose to put, or I can or an arch. Maybe I'll put both. How about that? I'm gonna put both because it's just so fancy. So I'm going to put this on here, And I'm going to stamp on that arch. And I'll show you how you put that on so that it fits. So I'll just use this as a background. Now you could actually, if you really wanted to, you could like stamp pumpkins all the way around the edges, and have this look like it's in a pumpkin field. I don't know. Anyway. And I have these paper pumpkin sentiments, and I have the little acorns. It says, thinking of you, wishing you the happiest of days, thankful, warm wishes. Okay, I'm going to put wishing you the happiest of days because I don't want to write a whole bunch today. And I'm going to put it, yeah, and I'm going to use early espresso, and I might put an acorn or something in there, we'll see. So I'm going to put this on, make sure I've got the right side, yeah. Let me see, something to stamp on here. These are photopolymer stamps, and they stamp a little better when you use the Stampin' Pierce mat. It always stamps perfectly when I try it out. Firm pressure. Good, 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 good. Wishing you the happiest of days. Oh, nice. Okay. So maybe I'll put a little acorn. I think I've got a little stamp block. Yeah, those are cute. I'm going to put 1 and 2nd generation down at the bottom. Okay. Now, I want this to fit right behind the arch that I already have, right? So, I only want my glue to be on the bottom of this. I know that. So I'm just, you know, half of it. But to get it in the right spot, I am going to place it upside down, glue side up, behind this arch. Upside down, but glue side up on this arch. I do want to try to get that straight. My upside down, glue side up. I want to get that straight. Well, I think I can put maybe a little bit more glue right here. Okay. And then I think I have it straight. It looks pretty even. I just close this side, the back, and press it down and give it a rub. Okay, so now it's in the right spot. It's behind my arch. It's fairly centered, not totally centered, but let's see if I can move it. Okay, it's fairly centered. Okay. So on the front, back to my gems. Remember my flower, gold flower accents look nice. Gold looks nice. But I really think I like the timid tiger dots. So I'm going to put some of these up here. I'm going to put a big one, a middle one, and a little one. Just in a little triangle pattern there. And like I said, I might put a sentiment out here because I did have some sentiments, some skinny ones. Thinking of you would fit down there very nicely. Thankful would fit. Warm wishes would fit. But I really should do that before I don't want to do it now because, you know, I don't know, something might happen. I could put something else on there, but anyway. If you think ahead, you could even put some little leaves on there to your little pumpkin patch. But isn't that cute? Using the two-tone cardstock, tear the edges, color and cut some pumpkins. Now you might have some other pumpkins in your card stash that would be fine. But if you got a paper pumpkin kit, those pumpkins were just the right. I'm sorry, I didn't have that in frame. Those pumpkins were just the right size in the paper pumpkin kit. I don't know, my camera's looking really fuzzy. I don't know. I noticed that before. I don't know what I did. Probably pressed the wrong button. Anyway, I hope yours is clear. So anyway, I think I might probably try to stamp something there. I don't know. I don't want to wreck it. It's so cute. Anyway, so there you go. That is our card today, and I have your measurements, and I have, oh, bow. Okay, I took my, now there's gold here. This is current. Mesh ribbon is gold, striped mesh ribbon. That makes a nice bow. I have some white that I just got. It's white satiny ribbon, and I colored it with Timid Tiger. Okay, this is Timid Tiger, dark Timid Tiger. I just color it, and it dries just right away. It does make the ribbon stiffer when you do this, okay? But I tied a bow, and that's what I was going to do down here. Oh, almost forgot this. Fabulous. And I'm just going to get a glue dot over here. And this bow might require more than one glue dot. I don't know. We'll see. So I tied a bow. Put it on the side. I might have to cut that so it'll fit in the envelope. But I did put a bow down there. I could put it in the middle. Maybe that would look good. You can manipulate these bows so their little legs are where you want them. Maybe down there. Kind of like that. I think I might put a sentiments down there. I think I'm going to put this up here. Put my bow up here. Anyway, so bow. Alright, measurements. And then I think I have time. How am I doing on time? Of course, when I want to find time, I can't find it. Oh, ooh, I'm at an hour. Okay. Alright. So this was too many pumpkins. This was about right. This was with the pumpkins from the tractor company that I didn't like as well as the paper pumpkins. And these are the measurements for the pumpkins. So I'll put the two that I liked. The one we did today. And the one I did the other day. And this was Timeless Plaid behind this one. And I used twine instead of the ribbon, which is less, I don't know if you want to say the word invasive, but it's less. So go ahead and take a screenshot. It has all your measurements on it. For today, the Timid Tiger was 8.5 by 4, scored at 4.25. The Pecan Pie, to cut arch number 2, I just did a standard quarter sheet, 4.25 by 5.5. Crumb Cake or Basic Beige, to cut arch number 4 after adhering the two-tone cardstock, was 4.25 by 5.5. And then your basic white, if you want inside, 4 by 3 3/4, and to stamp, color, and cut pumpkins, again, a quarter sheet, 4.25 by 5.5. The designer series paper, whatever you pick for the outside, was 4 by 3 3/4. And then your two-tone cardstock, I used 3 colors: Early Espresso, Cajun Craze, and Pecan Pie. The strips were 1.25 inch wide and 4 inches long. And then, of course, your gems, which are linked, ribbon, you know, whatever you want to put on there to make your card the way you want it to look, and stamp on the inside whatever you would like to stamp on the inside. You know, that was cute. Wishing you the happiest of days. So anyway, so there's your stuff. I wanted to show you next Monday. You'll have to come back. A child is born. Now looks like a really simple kit, and when I first looked at it, I was going, but then I saw some people do some great stuff with it. Now I have like 4 or 5 things in my arsenal of what to do with this kit. I hope you'll come back next Monday at 9 a.m. to see what I do. Oh, I can't, there, the light is just not right shining on this. You know, this is a more faith-based kit, you know, with Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus, and then they have some elements that were in the manger and some nice sentiments to go with it. So I have some good ideas for this one. So be sure to come back next Monday for that. And I was going, if you want to stay, I'm going to open this. If you're done for now, I get it. But this is for the World Card Making Day. I haven't even opened mine yet. And we'll look inside. If you're leaving, I understand. Thank you for coming. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. All of those things help my channel so much. You just can't believe how those little algorithms work on Facebook and on YouTube. So this is for the World Card Making Day, and this is all the stuff. It's $32. This is all the stuff you get. So here are the stamps. Thinking of you. Thanks so much. Happy birthday. Hello sunshine. To and from. Wishing you the best. Those are what the stamp sets. They give you a Secret C ink spot. Okay. And then the stuff, some stuff that's wrapped up. You're getting a block, you're getting gems, you're getting twine, you're getting glue dots, you're getting envelopes, you're getting card bases, you're getting, oh my gosh, all the things to make the cards. Now, of course, they're going to have instructions on the video that if you register, and registration's free, you know, and you can watch it again and again, because I'm going to tell you, that's what I do to learn some stuff. I watch things more than once. So they have little, you know, little baggie of glue dots, gems, and a card or a block, just in case you don't have one. The twine. Then they have little pop out pieces. You don't have to cut anything. They just pop out. You have these cute envelopes. Cute. Oh, look at those. Those are just adorable. They send you a sheet of dimensionals. They send you, these are to put the sentiments on. They're little sentiments. They pop out and you stamp and do that. And these pop out. These are the card bases. And you have different card bases. You have these with the little birds on them. You have these with the little rainbow things on them. This is a more generic card base, just some crumb cake and white. These are some more sentiment labels. This is Secret C card bases. So you're probably going to, on these plainer ones, you're going to be probably adding some of these other elements that come in here. Oh, so then we have some more of these rainbow things. Okay, oh, we have star things. Those are cute. Then I'm not sure what these are. Maybe tree things. If I turn it that way, tree things. And you probably put those on the card front, I'm guessing. And this is some circles, look like kind of ray of sunshine. more pop-out pieces, elements. You got shells, you got some florals. Okay, so another element of this is you're going to make a card holder. And I think that's what's in this package is, and they'll show, and yeah, this is a lot thicker. This is like the background, or the thickness of the cardboard stuff. I know there's a word for it, I can't remember it, that hold it, but these are much thicker. Some of it's pre-folded, and it's got sticky stuff already on it. It's got little division things, so this looks really nice, really, really nice. And World Card Making Day is next Saturday. Okay, the 4th is next Saturday, so that's my card base. So there's no directions, but that's because you're going to register and for free, and they'll send you the link to the class, and you can watch it as many times as you want. You don't have to make the cards the way they tell you to. I mean, they're going to make suggestions on how it works, but you know, creative people think of creative things, so they do all sorts of fun stuff. So keep all your stuff in your box when you get it, and you will be so ready. I mean, what I'm going to do is watch it first. I'm not going to make it the first time around. I'm just going to watch, because I might think of something that I want to do, you know, because those card bases especially, they're printed on the front and the back. You can cut them and make more cards. You know, anyway, just make it go further. So anyway, so that is the World Card Making Day that you might think about and register. I know they are making X amount of those World Card Making Day boxes. Let me turn this up so we can speak face to face. There we go. I know they make X amount of boxes. Will they make more boxes if more people want to buy them? I don't know. Maybe. You might be able to get them after the World Card Making Day. I'm not sure. I have not read that you couldn't. So maybe you can. But if I were you, I would, you know, it's free. I always register for free stuff. I always, because I find little nuggets here and there of things that I like, and I bet you will too. So, you know, October 4th, which I believe is Saturday. Let me look at the magic calendar back here, because I do get my days mixed up. Today's 29th, right? Yeah. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's Saturday. So, so think about that. And again, once you get that link, that you'll be able to watch it again and again. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I had a great time. I hope you like these cards. The little pumpkin patches. You could stick all sorts of things in there. It didn't have to be pumpkins. You know, you could do leaves. You could do all sorts of things. But using that method of, you know, glue around the edges, cut the arch die, and stick it on a card, and it's fun. All right. We will see you next week.